Hi, and welcome to the first ever Dive Like a Girl podcast episode. I'm Rachel. I'm the founder of Midwest Mermaids Scuba, and this is Kat and Tara. Midwest Mermaids Scuba was developed 5 years ago, and we have a Facebook community. And really, the premise behind Midwest Mermaids Scuba is to get more people certified to dive, especially here in the Midwest, where you might not think of diving so much as you would like if you're in Florida or something like that. But definitely trying to get more people to get certified to dive. And that's women and men, but we deal with a lot of women. And so that's kind of where the Dive Like a Girl idea came from. We founded the group about 5 years ago and it has just blossomed from there. We have over 1,200 members now. And, we just want to help encourage other people to get certified to dive and go diving with us.
Hi, I'm Tara. I'm from St. Louis. I got into scuba diving because growing up, my grandmother always talked about scuba diving down in the Florida Keys. She passed away a couple years ago, and then COVID happened. And I was like, all right, I need to get moving on this. So that is main reason why I got certified scuba diving. And then I was lucky enough to find the Midwest Mermaids Scuba, and that is probably the only reason why I've continued to scuba dive.
And there's a lot of confusion because we were originally just Midwest Mermaids. And so we'll say Midwest Mermaids a lot because we kind of changed it to Midwest Mermaids Scuba because we had so many mermaid enthusiasts that were trying to join the group. And while we love that for you, you're not going to find much value in our group when all we do is talk about scuba diving if you're a mermaid enthusiast. So we were Midwest Mermaids for a long time. And then we just kind of added the scuba. So we'll kind of use those interchangeably.
And I'm Kat. I am the daughter of Rachel, and I have been obsessed with the ocean for pretty much almost my entire life. I think I was scared at first whenever I was really little, but then I kind of warmed up to it, and like the animals in the ocean always kind of fascinated me. And I am a gamer, and my mom got me a Nintendo Wii, and they had this game called Endless Ocean, and it taught me all the fun facts about scuba diving and the animals in the ocean and the technical names and everything. And just exploring. And I never thought that I would be able to do something like that until she told me that she was scuba certified. And I think I've been certified for what, 6 years now?
I
Something
think
like that.
so. I think so. Yeah, so I remember when Kat was little, we went to Florida one time and I remember sitting in a beach chair and just watching her. She's walking back and forth. She's in the water with a mask on and her face in the water and she's just walking back and forth like hunched over. So her shoulders were like completely sunburned because she just walked back and forth and that was the only thing sticking out of the water. So I mean, like, she was obsessed with water and the
There was
ocean.
so many vacations, summer breaks from school that I came back with a mask tan line on my face, and you would make fun. You were like, "This is great," and I didn't never see it until somebody pointed it out, and it's just the whole mask layout.
But then one time we went on an excursion, we went snorkeling, and this was before either one of us ever even really, knew that we could get scuba certified. But we went on an excursion snorkeling, and and the water was pretty murky, and we were off the coast of Florida, and luckily the guys on the boat were just so nice. But Kat is out there, and something touched her leg. And we were in this murky water and she got out of that water so fast. She was on the boat. I thought I would never get her back in the ocean. So I'm like, no, like I can't go snorkeling and I can't do all this stuff if she won't get back in the water. So luckily she got over that. But yeah, she thought she was
Nah,
getting
something
attacked.
got me. Something got me. I don't know what it was, but it was taking my life, and I had to get to the boat fast.
The thing is like I look at it now and snorkeling's great. I love snorkeling. But you can only see so much snorkeling. You can only see so far in your range of view. And then so now that we've got certified to scuba dive, like you're just like down there in like a big huge room and you can see everything all the time. And so it is such a different world. A complete game changer for us. So I met my boyfriend 8.5 years ago and we just got in a conversation and we did the snuba thing down in the Dominican Republic where they have the tank on the raft and just like a hose. And so you get a weight belt on and you're just like walking around. And now, if I knew that, like, I would never just be like walking around because I'm like thinking of all the critters that got killed when I'm just like walking around on the sand. But so we did the scuba thing and we got to talking. I had no idea that scuba diving was, I would have never dreamed that there were 4 dive shops in St. Louis or in the St. Louis area. That is just so crazy to me because I never would have known. So, yeah, so we got scuba certified and really just to go diving and then it just kind of snowballed into this and that and all these other things. And now I'm an instructor and doing all kinds of stuff. And then now I have this dive club and everything has just been kind of a whirlwind for the past, I don't know, 7.5 years, I guess, that I've been diving. So, but yeah, that's where it all began. Actually, Midwest Mermaids started from a conversation in the Girls That Scuba forum online. And there were like 4 or so women, 4 or 5 of us that all said, oh, we're from the Midwest. And so we're like, oh, we should connect. So we connected and we kind of had a text going and they talked about traveling somewhere. And I think they went to Key West, but then I think it kind of just like fizzled out after that. And that's when I started the group because I thought, well, I bet there's just a ton of other people, in the Midwest that, are looking for other people to dive with that they don't even realize, that diving is such a big thing, or other people that would get certified to dive if they knew that there were dive opportunities. I would have never thought there's quarries to go diving in, have airplanes and buses and playing basketball with bowling balls or whatever. I mean, I've lived here my whole life almost, and I had no idea that any of that was anywhere near here. So
Yeah, Mermaid, isn't it Mermaid where they sunk the plane?
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the one from US Marshals where they have the plane there. Have you been there since they sunk the police car and it says the scuba police and it says to observe and critique?
I don't think so.
Because everybody always says there's no scuba police. So they sunk a car and it's the scuba police. They painted it all up before they sunk it. It's hilarious.
I know that the last time I was there was for the rescue course. What was that? November? Before November?
Tara's been to a quarry one time. One time.
Don't blame her.
I always figured like the quarries are kind of the necessary evil, right? I mean, like and I'm not saying that nobody gets jazzed about diving the quarries because I'm sure that there are some women that are just like super excited to go to the quarries. And there's some fun stuff to do. Like I love like doing the navigation course at Pennyroyal. You could always have a bad day. You could always have bad visibility or it's too cold or, those kind of things. But yeah, so Kat and I have been to the quarry on numerous occasions, but Tara got introduced last year to her very first quarry dive.
It was all right. Definitely prefer the ocean, but it was a great experience to have. I just would rather see colorful fish instead of some, what are they called? Pariah? What kind of Kentucky pariahs or something?
The Kentucky pariahs, the little bluegill that bite your
Yeah.
ears. Oh my
That
gosh.
the fact that I had to
So
cover up my
crazy.
ears because of fish is just a little bit weird.
Did you see the Gilboa Quarry video that I posted? So
No, I haven't.
Gilboa, they sell fish food, bags, like sealed bags of fish food at their shop. And so when you go out diving and you get to the roof of the bus that they have and you tear this open, and there is literally a tornado of fish that swarm you. And so I bought food and I took it down, and so did everybody else. And then I saw what happened, and I was like, you can have mine because I have no desire. Like, I will watch you. I will record it for you so that you can have that souvenir, but I do not need that in my life.
Doesn't
But
Mermet have like that one long bill fish?
with a spoonbill? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't
That thing
mind
was
seeing
terrifying.
that,
That thing was terrifying. Oh my God, that scared the crap out of me. I was like, what is that? And then I got closer. I said, I don't want to know what that is.
Yeah, the spoonbill are crazy looking. Like when they open their mouth, it is just like big, hollow. Mermet also has the like really gigantic catfish. I think there were like 2 of them, but I think maybe one of them is no longer with us. I mean, that was as big as one of the dudes I was diving with the last time I saw that catfish. So it's crazy.
Well,
So,
I won't exist anymore if I see that. I won't.
but I mean, like I look at it from, 8 years ago and I had no idea, Mermet, Pennyroyal, Gilboa, France Park, Pearl Lake. I mean, like, and there's new places opening all the time. And I'm like, you're serious? I did. I don't know if you guys saw on the MidwestMermaids.com. I have a interactive map that I kind of put like all the little plugs and you can click on. But I definitely would never have known 8 years ago before I started and got certified. I would have never known that there were all of these different places to dive here. And I mean, like, especially if it's drivable distance, there's a lot of them have camping and stuff. So you can actually do it pretty reasonably.
And now you have a fancy camper.
Yeah. Yeah. I just messaged a friend of mine earlier today to see if she was going to be at Mermet. So I'm going to be at Mermet in a couple of weeks. And she's actually going to be at a different quarry that weekend. But it's a good time, especially like the camping areas. Let's see. Because I mean, I've camped at most of the ones that you can camp at, I think. And like, there'll be like a dozen people with their campers and stuff, like sitting out by the fire, roasting hot dogs or whatever. But I mean, as long as the weather is not, raining or crazy or something like that, it's pretty nice stuff. I'm a kind of a fair weather quarry diver. So if I'm teaching, I'll go in May or June. But if I'm just going to fun dive, it's like July, August, September. It's when the water is warmer. The trade-off though is if you're diving in the Midwest, you are either going to have cold water and good visibility, or you're going to have warmer water, and then the warmer water breeds the algae. And then I think that that's when the visibility kind of gets a little bit less. And you, like, the one time you went to the quarry with us was Pennyroyal for Women Dive Day, wasn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that made it a little bit more exciting, was to be in this big, huge event with all these women
Right.
that were scuba diving and games to play, and not necessarily a raffle, but it was the
Like
scavenger
a
hunt,
treasure hunt. Yeah.
treasure hunt.
So we're going back for that one. I think they have a lot of different vendors and stuff coming this year. For that. So that's the biggest Women Dive Day event that I know of in like the, middle of the United States or whatnot. By the way, so like our definition of Midwest for Midwest Mermaids for the Facebook community is like so broad. Basically, if you were landlocked somewhere in the middle and you know what winter is like, then you're in, But it's like, as far as we look at it from the standpoint of, the Midwest is to us is a pretty big area. And so a lot of times on these weekends when we go to the quarries and stuff, people are driving 3, 4, sometimes 6 hours to get to these quarries and stuff. So we figure if people are reasonably going to meet us somewhere to dive, then, that's it. But like if you live on the coast of Florida, you're probably not going to come visit us in the Kentucky quarry. I mean, maybe, but I mean, Great Lakes probably have better luck, than some of the other places, some of the smaller places we go. But yeah, so we're pretty broad in that range. But yeah, so Women Dive Day is incredible at Pennyroyal. A lot of the other places, I think that they'll do like shops, like the shops will do their own smaller events, but that's the only one that I know is like the whole place, right, is having this big event. And it's fantastic because they have great visibility. The trade-off is that after the treasure hunt, everything has been kicked up. And so the visibility goes down pretty quickly after lunch on Saturday. So then you got to switch over to the deep side, and then that is a little bit colder.
Yes, I will definitely, if I go again, if I'm off, bring a thicker wetsuit.
That reminds me, I need to contact them about a camper spot. I keep forgetting that I need to reach out to them. Kat will not be there at Women Dive Day because she will be in Belize. Boo.
Well, that's
I will
fun.
be back. I'm actually coming back from Belize early to go to Kentucky to dive for Women Dive Day, but we always go. What I think is great too about like our group, we've done some travel. We do try to meet up at local places to dive, but we have done some travel, Belize, Hawaii, some of those kind of things. And it's such a crazy age range of people. So you'll have all of these different people on the boat for this whole wide age range. And everybody's just looking for a good buddy, right? They need a solid buddy to dive with.
I was with what was it, the first trip to Belize with the Midwest Mermaids. I was partnered with someone who had never been in the ocean before and was scared of fish.
Scared of fish.
And I love sharks. and have to be in the middle of all of the sharks and the closest person to them. And my dive buddy is like, you could tell she's hesitant to be close because she's scared of fish. But I'm just
it.
like, yeah, she did it. She did fantastic.
Oh my
Where were
gosh.
we?
Yeah.
Where were we? That time that I was underweighted and I had to get back on the boat, and they were like, just keep going, just keep swimming forward. And then I was like, oh, I'm leading this. Has she been in the ocean before either?
No,
I don't think
that
she
was
had.
that was her first ocean dive. Yeah.
So I have now led the dive or been a buddy to somebody who, that's just my thing now. Just put me with the person who has never been in the ocean at this point.
That was a super proud mom moment, by the way, because
I
like,
was terrified.
so that was a drift dive off the coast of Florida, and we were out with peer review divers, and Kat and another girl jumped off the boat with everybody else. And I think there were like 6 or 8 of us there, and they jumped off and they didn't have enough weight. So I saw them get back on the boat, and I'm doing the whole dive. I'm like, man, like they missed the dive. That sucks, you know? And we get back on the boat. No, they dropped them again, but they like when they caught the drift, they just couldn't ever catch up with us. And so if you haven't done Florida drift diving before, like you have to follow the drift. You have to be able to launch your DSMB. There's all these things that have to be in place, especially if you don't have a guide. So to find out that Kathy was able to like get them through the whole dive and get them back on the boat and launch her DSMB, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's fantastic. You know, it kind of all came true. All of the training came through. It was like, oh, she was listening. Like she's got it under control. So that was super proud mom moment there.
Yeah, that was my first dive after being certified in, well, no, it wasn't my first dive because we did the Blue Heron Bridge, but the boat drift diving, that was my first time. And surprised it didn't scare me to stop scuba diving, but now I've dealt with it more. So
was that also the first time you went diving with your phone in your pocket, or was that a different trip?
Different trip. That was Key Largo, and then it was lovely Hawaii. But
I need you to change your wallpaper on your phone whenever you go on a dive trip, to take your phone out of your leggings before you go to.
I just need to get leggings with no pockets.
When I was making all the leggings for the store, I was thinking about you because I want pockets, but I'm like, I got to make leggings with no pockets for Tara.
Is there a way to put on the inside of the pocket, take your phone out before you get in?
But she wouldn't see it. If it's on her phone wallpaper and the phone is in the pocket, she's not going to see it.
No, on the inside of the pocket, because you look at the pocket before you put your phone in there to try to find the pocket.
I don't know, but I don't know how you've done that twice.
I remember in Hawaii, and she's like, this, and I'm like, what's in your, oh my God.
Yeah, underwater. I had to make sure everybody knew while we were still down there. And then Sue did it too. So somebody else on the same dive did it.
But I'm just like, again, like how? Like never put your phone in your pocket on dive day. Never. Just don't even at all. Like from first thing in the morning, never put your phone in your pocket on dive day, or just don't have pockets. Tara is not allowed to have pockets in her leggings anymore. But, when you're talking about your dive buddy, we won't name any names, but we won't name any names. She'll see this. But I go back to like when we first got certified, and I was like, I don't care if I ever see a shark. I don't ever need to see a shark. Like I'm going to freak out the minute I see a shark. And then the first time we saw a shark, it was just like, there it goes, and like, cause as soon as it sees you, it just like swims away, so and that was again in Palm Beach, and it was our dive guide was like shining a light underneath the ledge or whatever. And then all of a sudden,
about a lemon shark that shot out from underneath of us. Like, what was that? He did not want anything to do with us.
But by the time we even had the chance to be scared, it was gone. And we're like, oh, okay. And I think that goes back to like the claustrophobia. Like I thought I was gonna be claustrophobic. I thought I was gonna be scared of sharks. That, all these things that I thought were gonna happen just never did. Like it just never came to fruition. So
I still get the anxiety because of like all the stuff that you hear about sharks and like growing up with all the shark movies and everything. I still get the anxiety and stuff, but then whenever I see them and they're kind of like, I don't want anything to do with this crazy lady that's got a camera chasing me down, then I'm like, okay, but I like them at this point.
Yeah,
I didn't think I was going to.
I don't worry about sharks anymore at all. But I do always look at the dive master, like whoever the guide is, like if he looks scared, then it's time for me to be scared. But if he doesn't look scared, then I'm probably going to be all right. That's how I feel about it. I just look at him for guidance. But I will say I haven't run into a bull shark yet, and I haven't run into a great white. So I think those are, possibly some of the more aggressive breeds.
I'm
So
still
we'll
mad
see.
about Hawaii whenever I
The
was in there
tiger
messing with
shark.
those freaking peppermint shrimp. And I'm like, oh, my mom likes you guys. Let me get a video. And I come out and there's a tail end of a tiger shark going by. And I'm like,
Well,
okay.
Sammy and I did see a bull shark when we went to Florida one time, but the storms with a megalodon tooth, we were going to try and find those, but we ended up scuba diving somewhere else.
In that bait ball.
The bait wall was a ball or a wall, and it was like darkness because of that wall. And then in the
Right.
distance, we saw a bull shark, and I was just like, I could stay
Ah,
that
I
way.
forgot about that because, like, I know people will say, so it's usually bait ball. So, like, they're just kind of
Mhm.
like swimming in this like big sphere. That's the way that I've always seen it and heard it and whatnot. But like, we were just like, we were newer and we're just swimming through and had no idea, like, that I've heard, like you're not supposed to necessarily swim through the bait ball because the sharks swim through the bait ball, like just gobbling stuff up. And so it's like you don't want to swim through the bait ball and like come face to face with the shark. But yeah, no, I do remember that. I remember that. That was some murky water off Clearwater for
Yeah,
sure.
because there
But
was
that
a
was,
storm before we got there.
yeah, that dive trip, all of our dives got canceled except for the last day. That was that trip. So, yeah, right after that hurricane came through. So that was crazy. So, thanks for joining us. We are going to wrap it up for today. This is our very first ever episode of Dive Like a Girl. And so we'll hope you guys will hope you guys will tune in for further episodes as we get this thing off the ground and roll it. We really appreciate your support. Follow us on social media at Midwest Mermaids Scuba. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all the things. We really appreciate your support. And I just want to encourage people, if you have ever considered getting certified to scuba dive, call your local dive shop and get started. You've got all summer. If you get started now, you can get through your certification. You can go do some fun dives. Maybe you can meet up with us somewhere in the Midwest. Who knows where we'll be this year? But definitely get started. It's one of the best things that I ever did. And I wish that I had done it a long, long time ago. So definitely get started. Support your local dive shops. And yeah, support your local dive shops. Even if you can get it for $2 cheaper on Amazon, Amazon's going to guarantee that you have a 30-day return window where your local dive shop is going to support you throughout your whole dive career. So definitely take that leap, get certified, support your local dive shop, and then, follow us and support us. We really appreciate it. And we hope you enjoyed the episode. We are always looking for input, guests, anything you want to hear us talk about. Please send it our way. And thanks for joining me, Tara and Kat. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.